Welcome to the Dynasty Happy Hour podcast. Pull up a chair and kick up your feet as you get ready to enjoy some of the industry's most entertaining and actionable Dynasty content on the planet. We're talking veterans, rookies, sleepers, and oh yeah, you know the crew has those dad jokes ready for you. So let's not wait any longer and bring on the host or some combination of Doug, James, and Tyler.
Welcome back to the Dynasty Happy Hour. We are reviewing Week 4 and bringing everything more to the table. We've got a lot of fun stuff to talk about this week. Fun fantasy football week. Would you boys agree, James? What do you think?
Absolutely. It was a great games. Great games out there today.
Yeah, Tyler's nodding his head. We saw some young players start to emerge. We saw some old players start to crater.
Evaporate.
Yeah. It's for me as a Patriots fan, it was a rough day, but I don't want to talk about it. So I'm not going to.
You want to talk about my Falcons? We could do that and how they're absolutely
How about Jonnu Smith, the best tight end in the room?
Because Kyle Pitts apparently is trash. You know what? It's Desmond Ridder. Everybody, if you're worried about Kyle Pitts, it's Desmond Ridder. Desmond Ridder is trash. They're even talking about it on the broadcast. You know what? I'm getting so frustrated talking about it. They're talking about it on the broadcast that he's just staring down his first read. He should have been picked off 38 times.
That would be a record.
It would be. And you know what? He deserved it because he just stares down his first read. If it's not there, he's got nothing. He's bad. Taylor Henneke should be it. And Arthur Smith is so invested in this damn player.
Mustache. He's invested in that mustache.
God. Ridder isn't it. And they're going to be stuck at like pick 12 or 8 where they're always at, where they're not going to be able to get a quarterback.
Hey, you know what? Maybe they do what the Panthers did, and they use draft capital and they trade up to get.
It's going to cost a little more than it costs to get
maybe,
Bryce Young.
Yeah, but maybe like their guy. Maybe Caleb's obviously everyone's guy.
Chicago.
We'll
the Bears have the 1 and 2 picks, so maybe they could be like, "Hey, that second pick, you ain't taking 2 quarterbacks. We could move up."
They also have a lot of needs on
Kyle
that
Pitts for
team.
number 2.
I'm just happy that the Giants play on Monday night this week, so you guys can't break my stones about my team. Tyler,
we'll do that playing Fortnite, so don't worry.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, so we were going to talk about Week 4. We're going to give you some news and some injuries today. But before we do that, I want to talk about Underdog. Man, I got so close again on a 5-player parlay. I blame Joe Burrow. It was over 1.5 touchdowns. I thought he would bounce back in that pass funnel that is the Tennessee Titans. They're good against the run, awful against the pass. Joe Burrow started off hot, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to hit this. I got my Christian Kirk one already with the London game. Yeah, no, the only one I missed was Burrow, so womp womp. But that's why I love playing on Underdog, because there's really cool, fun ways to play. I like doing the prop bets for the players. You can do anywhere from 2 to 5 players and bet however much you want. And then obviously the more players that you pick, the more you win. And you can just add money right into it. Use code DHH when you download Underdog on either the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store, iTunes Store, whatever they call it nowadays. I'm not an Apple guy. No,
James can tell you.
App Store.
App Store. Use code DHH. They'll match up to $100 right away, and you'll have money that you can start playing with right now. And if you're a sycophant and you like more than just NFL, guess what? Baseball just ended, but you can do playoffs. NBA and hockey are starting this month back up. There's all sorts of fun ways to play on Underdog. So make sure you use code DHH. Get that $100 matched right away, up to. Don't have to put in 100, but if you want to, cool. All right, let's move into some news we've got. So big news this week, which kind of flew under the radar, is that the Detroit Lions wide receiver Jameson Williams' suspension for his gambling policy violations has been reduced to just 4 games, making him eligible to return next week. So I'm really interested to see what that's going to look like for this offense. We've seen Josh Reynolds operate as that second receiver. Sam Laporta has been their primary second pass catcher in that offense outside of Amon-Ra St. Brown. So obviously Josh Reynolds has had a few good games. Week 3, he had a bagel, much like Jordan Addison today. Thanks, buddy. And then Josh Reynolds had a good week this week. So it's going to be interesting to see the Lions offense, which is clicking pretty well between Montgomery and Gibbs and Amon-Ra and Laporta being a tight end one. James, what do you think Jameson Williams is going to sprinkle into this offense once he gets back?
I think it's just going to help these other offensive weapons even more. I mean, to spread the field wide open and having that one gut shot player down the field, it definitely raises the productivity level of Jared Goff, in my opinion. I mean, if you could hit a one long bomb to Jameson Williams, it's definitely going to help out your fantasy day, and it increases in his value overall. So I'm looking forward to actually seeing him on the field.
Can I give you some updated news about a player we have on the injury report? I just got it.
Sure.
ESPN just reported.
Or you can just wait till we get there. But that's
Javonte Williams, he suffered a hip flexor versus Bears and is not expected to miss much time.
Oh.
Okay.
All right.
So that's better than what a lot of people probably thought it was going to be.
I mean, at least, Jaleel McLaughlin got his one day in the sun then.
Sarah, his mom, is very proud.
Yeah, I will remember him.
And he will remember you.
It's true. Yeah. Tyler, what do you think about Jameson Williams coming back? Are you excited? Or are you kind of like,
I thought I had 2 more weeks, guys, to slowly buy the dip, and that's what I've been doing. Doug, a league we're in, UDPL, I've tried getting him from the FF Dynasty guys. Didn't really work out. I offered Quentin Johnson and Rashee Rice for him to no success. I thought that I'd be able to get it done. Nope. I really like this guy in this offense. This offense needs an explosive playmaker other than Gibbs. I think this will open up more possibilities for the run game and Gibbs because he's going to be a factor, and especially in this offense. And, the play caller is going to get him the ball. Ben Johnson, this is going to be explosive, and he is cheap right now. And if you can go and get him, he was cheaper 4 days ago, but
Sure.
now he's in that early second, like a second rounder type price, and I think I'd still give it because he's a first round talent. The Lions really wanted him, but I mean, I guess we've seen what happens to players they pound the table for. So you never know, but it's a explosive player on an explosive offense that you probably want to get your hands on.
Yeah, I agree. So let's roll into some of these injuries. We'll give a little round table and then we'll talk about them. So Pat Freiermuth left, I think it was in the second quarter with a hamstring injury, did not return. Also for the Pittsburgh Steelers, Kenny Pickett injured his left knee. Enter Mitch Trubisky. Didn't look good for Pickett. Obviously, we're still, going to wait to hear and see what the severity of the injury was. But it didn't look great. It was definitely, a lower leg injury, which you never want to see. So we'll see if he's going to miss any time. That offense, juiceless today. Najee had some juice, but that was about it. Which is not saying a lot. Mike Evans exited with a hamstring injury after battling Marshawn Lattimore again because
damn day.
They're like the Cortland Finnegan, Andre Johnson of this generation. They just don't like each other. And I love how he went to he literally ankle grabbed Evans. The ball was overthrown and he tackled him way before.
Did you see they're coming out with a new movie, Grumpy Old Men 3? And it's
Mike
Evans and
Marshawn
Lattimore. Yeah.
Yeah, they just sit there. They just sit there and watch Red Zone on Sundays and just go back and forth.
Bitching and moaning.
I could do that. Obviously, we saw Devin Tompkins get a touchdown kind of in Mike Evans' stead. Chris Godwin had a big game, which was nice to see because he's been quiet so far this season. Another big, tall, slender receiver, T. Higgins. He's got some broken ribs. He left in the second quarter. Not that it mattered for the Bengals. They got absolutely trounced by the Titans today. But you hate to see it. Ribs, you can't do anything for them. Once they're broken, you wrap them up and you get out there, they'll heal on their own. So wouldn't be a surprise if Higgins misses maybe a little bit of time. Might not be terrible altogether because they're a hot freaking mess. And we'll talk about the Bengals as we go through here. And then, as Tyler said, Javonte Williams with the hip injury, which doesn't look severe. Jaleel McLaughlin came in and had a big day, over 100 all-purpose yards and a touchdown. The kid has juice. Like I said, I've said it on the podcast before. Over the summer, I heard Cecil Lammy talk about Jaleel McLaughlin, how they like him. I went and picked him up in a ton of dynasty leagues because I was like, let me see if he's available. Oh, yeah, for sure he's available. So I've been sitting on him on my taxis. I think all the kid needs is an opportunity, and he can, he can make a difference. I mean, Denver was down big today. They end up clawing back. The Bears, idiots, kicked the field goal, you morons.
Eberflus is him and Staley just chat on the phone every single
It's one thing if it's
day.
like a 50-yard field goal. They were at the 20.
It was a chip shot.
It was a chip shot field. What are you doing, you moron?
Your first, it's almost like they got a call from the front office like, hey, Caleb Williams is in our sight. Don't you even think about kicking this field goal.
They got the call from upstairs.
Yeah.
Miss
It was an interesting play call. Other injury news for your IDPers out there: Matt Judon's got a bicep injury. He's going to miss time, so he's a big loss for not only the Patriots but for your IDP teams. And as a Pats fan, Christian Gonzalez, he was out as well. Pats are ready to pack it up. I want a top 5 pick. Let's hit the reset button. Boop 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 boop. I'm out.
I don't want you guys to destroy any quarterbacks, so that's the issue. I don't want quarterbacks to go there because I don't want Bill to get all, so Tom Brady did this. No.
Maybe it's time for Bill to leave.
Yes.
That's been the chatter here, is that maybe it's time for Bill to, although here's the thing. He's only 13 wins away from breaking Shula's record.
It's going to take
I'm not holding on to
years
that.
That may take
years.
like 3 more seasons. Yeah, exactly.
I'm not willing to hold on to that. If he needs to go, he just needs to go. Get Gerard Mayo, move him up to be the coach. Keep Bill as the OC. I'm cool with that. But I don't know. I'm kind of over it.
He should be like an advisor at this point, or
he's 70 plus years old. Like, just retire. He's got $1
Imagine if the
billion.
Pats-
He makes $25 million a year from the Patriots. Like, come on.
Imagine if the Pats just went a 180 and Ben Johnson, the offensive coordinator for the Lions, is the Patriots head coach.
I mean, I would love it, but where's the talent to go with that?
You get a quarterback. You actually draft receivers.
they bring Goff with him.
They don't know how.
Ben
No,
Johnson
Bill
brings
didn't
Goff
know
with
how.
him.
Bill
New
didn't
England.
know how.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, so not looking
Wishful
good.
thinking.
Any
Anyway.
comments here about any of the injuries that we saw today?
Yeah, apparently Kyle Pitts is hurt because Jonnu was playing way more than he should.
Pitts' ego is definitely hurt, but hey,
All those
I
trade
think
rumors,
Tyler's ego is hurt.
all
a
those
little
trade
bit.
rumors. Let's just make them happen.
Kyle Pitts to the Cowboys. I saw that one.
The Falcons don't deserve Pitts.
You're not wrong.
That 1,000-yard receive, like 1,000 yards rookie year, and now all of a sudden you're just a role player. I don't get it. Don't get it.
Yeah, it's very, very strange.
When Jonnu does stuff like that, man, it's just sad. 6 for 95,
Did he
and it's
do
like
something to
2
Ritter?
2 weeks in a row.
Did he do something to Ritter? Should we talk about that? Like, did he like smell his hair, like walk up behind him? Like,
I just want to understand why it's working with Johnny Smith and not Kyle Pitts.
it's because nobody's guarding Jonnu. Nobody's focused on him. So Ritter's like, he's always going to be open. That's the only person I could throw it to. I'm not going to throw it up. Did you see when he gave Kyle Pitts a chance, that humongous grab way up in the air, and Pitts almost came down with it?
I think
Hey.
we need to see Taylor Heineke.
Yes, thank you. And it's not going to happen because Arthur Smith is like,
I know. Heineke can at least push the ball downfield. He plays with that Favre like YOLO mentality. He reminds me of Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Yeah.
Just come in, he's got energy. He don't give a shit. He's just going to throw it around the yard. And guess what? Like, they have offensive weapons. Freaking use them. That's all.
And also, they paid him starters money. Like, they paid Heineke some good money, so use him.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. You know what else you should use? It's code DHHRing when you go on to TrophySmack.com and you get your trophy. Guess what? Fantasy baseball is wrapping up. So if you need a trophy for your league, congrats for playing fantasy baseball. That is a grind. I assume you probably won if you had Ronald Acuna or Mookie Betts on your team because they're absolutely elite. But make sure you go get a trophy, get a belt, all the cool things, whether you play basketball, hockey, football, baseball, soccer, it doesn't matter. You can get everything, and you can do completely customizable on Trophy Smack. Code DHHRing. You get a free $60 championship ring with the purchase of a trophy or belt. They also have stuff for the losers of your league because you know what? For every winner, there's a loser. So they want to leave them out. Everybody gets a trophy. I'm not about that life, but the losers should definitely get one just because they're so bad. So you can get stuff for the losers of the league as well. Once again, code DHHRing for a free ring at checkout. All right, we are ready to talk about week 4.
You guys want to hear something funny first?
Sure.
So
I'm already looking at something funny.
Last week, the Steelers' flight got delayed 12 hours because of mechanical issues.
Yes.
The Steelers have not taken off because of mechanical issues with their plane.
Again,
this week, right now, is just reported.
Well, their offense didn't take off today either.
Like, how, like, that there's got to be no fluke. Like, God is looking down at them and be like, nope. Matt Canada is not leaving this
Blame
area.
Canada. Blame Canada.
Like,
he can't call a play.
Even God is like, Matt Canada needs to go in any way possible.
I mean, I think the more impressive thing about this whole game is the other side of the football and the rookie quarterback, CJ Stroud. He is just taking off, breaking all kinds of
300 yards a game average.
rookie averages, 2 touchdowns in this one, and it looks like it's not going to stop Nico Collins to the moon. Looks like the alpha in the offense. Tank Dell didn't do much today, but okay, he had a bad day.
Yeah,
They'll
the
go
previous
back and
2 weeks,
forth.
Dell was good.
Yeah.
And trust me, I started Nico last week. He did nothing. I benched him this week, and he pops off. It's one of those type of seasons for me.
So with Stroud, that throw to Nico, that 62-yarder,
Silky
was
smooth.
on a string. If you wanted one of those phone connection things, that's what it was like. It was like he literally
A can on each side.
an
That thing?
angel take the ball and drop it right into Nico's hands. Angels in outfield style. So, yeah, CJ Stroud is definitely a dude. And, I mean, James, we were saying, like, he reminds us a lot of Burrow, the way his deep ball is and how he can just fit it right in there. You know, Burrow previous years, but not
this year.
He did a good job. He did a good job avoiding getting sacked a lot today too.
His
he was
release is
quicker in the
quick.
pocket,
Just imagine when they get a line.
escaping.
When
When Tunsil comes back, like, are they the sleepers of the South?
Yes.
Like,
And they're coaching.
and we
they hit-
discounted them in the offseason when we were
that's
doing
my favorite
the
hip
divisional
hop
breakdown,
breakdown,
right?
of the South.
D'Amico Ryans found his offensive coordinator. Honestly, I'm not really sure who it is, but he found the right one. Because if we go on to the other rookie quarterback and Bryce Young, people are going to blame him. Oh, he's too short. I knew he couldn't do it. Bryce is getting like 2 seconds to throw the ball. And Frank Reich is doing him no favors because they are taking half the playbook that they gave to Andy Dalton and saying, not yet.
They're
Bryce.
better off starting. If they want to win real football games, they should be starting Andy Dalton because that offense looked night and day from last week to this week. Last week, they're moving the ball. Not a problem. They were scoring points this week. Back to Bryce Young, back to no protection, back to being tentative, back to not pushing the ball downfield and being an ugly offense.
They don't want Bryce to throw downfield for some reason. They don't want him to take the chances. And honestly, the shotgun that they have Bryce in is tiny. It's like a 3-step drop.
It's like
shotgun.
a little 22.
They should be like 5 steps back. Give Bryce some time to sit there. Another issue is, I was trying to think of the issue. There, I had it right in my head, right there, and I forgot. Sorry, but
okay.
No, like Bryce Young, they're almost not allowing him to get outside the pocket. Bryce is off. Don't get me wrong; it's not all Panthers' fault, but Bryce knows. Like there was 4. I watched the whole game. 4 plays where Bryce was so pissed off at himself. He's cussing, and he went up to Hayden Hurst on one and said, "I'm so sorry. That's on me." Like he knew where he should have went
At least
after
he's
the
taking
play.
responsibility for it.
He is literally seconds off of just hitting. Like you can feel it with Bryce Young. So I do think he will come on later on in the season when everything finally clicks and his timing is perfect. Like his timing's right. It's just slightly off.
We had 5 rookie quarterbacks start games today. James, I'm not concerned for Anthony Richardson as far as like fantasy. Like, yeah, he gets the rushing touchdown and he scored a decent amount of points, but the completion percentage wasn't great. Like, I didn't think it was
Stroud.
I didn't think it was a bad matchup. So for me, Richardson, it's just going to be a matter of like, this was his first full game really that he's played. So I'm not super concerned, but it reminds me of like the first year Lamar, like, 10 of 22. And he's got a rushing touchdown. Like, you're going to have to deal with this stuff until he gets more comfortable. Pittman, obviously, last week had a good game with Minshew. This week, he did get a 2-point conversion, but he didn't catch a ball until the 4th quarter. And I was starting to, like, freak out a little bit inside. I was like, but Josh Downs looks like, he flashed with Minshew. He had a nice long reception in this one. So I think Anthony Richardson, while, like, in Superflex leagues, you're probably going to start him because his ceiling is crazy. I think he's only going to get better as we go on, and he gets more comfortable with the NFL game speed and when he doesn't miss time in games. So, James, are you looking forward to the growth of Anthony Richardson as we go forward?
I am, but I think it's going to be slower than we expect. Some of these players on this roster, there's no exact chemistry yet. Josh Downs shows a little bit of that. Michael Pittman shows a little bit of that. but the connection's still not there. 5 targets for Michael Pittman. He only caught 1 ball for 15 yards. Like, we want to
That's
see
not enough targets for Pittman.
transitions in the air, especially when they were down. I believe they were down 20-0 at halftime. Like, they came back into this game to push it to what the score eventually was, and I think it was an overtime they finished. But like, they need a better way to do this. Like, it's going to take some time. They need to build around Richardson. Losing Jonathan Taylor does not help this offense out at all.
But they get him back next week, possibly.
Hey, Mo Cox had a great game.
Well, that's the tight end Russian roulette with Granson, Mo Cox. There'll be the Jelani Woods week. And what's the other kid? Ogletree caught a touchdown, too.
Yeah, Jelani Woods, I think, is
Yeah,
still
Ogletree
on
had
IR.
the touchdown, and Ali Cox.
Yeah, but let's go on to another rookie quarterback, Aiden O'Connell. Farva is
Cool.
what
It's our friend Al,
Skinny
skinny version of Al. I'm telling you.
Skinny
Just look at
Al.
him.
Skinny Al. That's another one. We know Skinny Aiden O'Connell, and we know Jason Kelsey. So that's a
That's
plus.
true.
But I thought
His awareness was bad.
yes, but he was not scared to throw that ball.
No, he was pushing it downfield. He had that beautiful one to Jacoby that he got called on the offensive pass interference. That was kind of a 50-50 ball that Jacoby came down with. He threw a deep one to Devontae. Like, he didn't have the pocket presence to to feel the pocket sinking. I mean, ask Khalil Mack and his 6 sacks, the second most of all time after RIP Derek Thomas, one of the all-time greats. But yeah, O'Connell, I liked him in the preseason. And I was excited that he got the start today over Brian Hoyer. Because what are you going to do with Brian Hoyer? He's like 40 years old. It's going to be boring. So at least they went with the young kid and got him some reps.
Yeah, I liked what I saw, but like you said, it was all pocket awareness. He didn't know when to throw it.
Check downs to Josh Jacobs.
The internal clock was not there.
Yeah.
He had no internal clock. And the one thing I did like, though, is like you said, he was not scared to throw it down the field. He didn't care if it was picked off or anything. He's like, you know what? Let's have fun with it. And I bet that's what he said in the huddle. He's like, hey.
I mean, he looks like he drank a 12-pack of beer before the game because he just says that, like, kind of weird, doughy beer body. Like,
he seems like a fun guy.
He looks like a kicker.
Yeah.
He doesn't look like a quarterback.
Like Janikowski's thinking to himself, hey, there we go. There's a real guy right there.
There's a real guy. He's just cranking Schlitz malt liquors on the sideline. Let's go. Yeah. And obviously we saw the other rookie quarterback, Dorian Thompson Robinson.
Yeah.
Oh.
DTR.
Rough game.
I expected more. I expected more. He's not ready. He's not ready for the big moment.
Smart of the Browns, though. They have a bye week next week, so if Watson's not ready to go, why put him out there? Give him 2 weeks to heal up. They'll be fine.
Speaking of the Browns and what you've seen on the X app this fine day in football, did you see the mask that Njoku came in wearing?
Yeah, he looked like a Batman villain.
Because he got
I
burnt.
want that skin in Fortnite.
His face and hands were burnt.
Yeah.
So I was trying to piece together how this happened. You know, first I'm thinking
I think he
barbecue
fell in a fire
accident. No,
Did
it
he?
was actually, I think it happened when he was lighting the fire pit. So I'm assuming that the gas,
there was like a
leaked
buildup of
bit,
gas, and then
he lit it, and it poof.
And it
Yeah.
foofed. Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
use
the
some fire
pilot wasn't
sticks.
lit.
The fire starter sticks that you can throw on the bottom. Just use those. Much
But he didn't
safer.
have a shirt on. He just came in with the trench coat.
That's because
I wouldn't.
jacked, dude.
I would say
wear a
I
shirt
wouldn't
ever.
wear a shirt ever if I looked like.
If I looked like the statue of David, I wouldn't own a freaking shirt.
The statue of David and Njoku.
I live in
Yes,
Minnesota,
exactly.
and I wouldn't wear a shirt in the winter. And we have
Just the trench
below
coat.
0.
Yeah, you're going. Jay.
Probably
Just
no
the-
coat either.
He looked like Bane's brother. I want a
Yeah, the
Batman
mask was
villain
scary.
with David Njoku. That's what I want.
And you know what? He still had 6 for 46.
Yeah, he had a pretty
After all
good
that,
game.
like,
Yeah.
and if anybody's been hurt and burnt like that, I've had 3rd-degree burns on my chest. It is painful. It's not fun, and it sucks. It's one of the
I'm
worst.
just glad you
pains
don't let
can
people
feel.
poop on you anymore. That's a good thing.
Burns are the worst. Like, especially if they're on
Don't
his
eat
hands.
Chipotle
And the
before
fact
then.
that he caught the ball with burns on his hands, I mean, that just credit to the guy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
A
and
gutsy effort by Mr. Njoku.
Jerome Ford, if it's not for the receiving, he's I don't know if you can start him if he doesn't get those receptions, because right now those receptions are saving him. 5 receptions,
I mean,
19 yards.
He also had a rookie quarterback in the game. That's not going to do him any favors.
That's true.
So
But Pierre
I'm not
Strong,
too worried about
5 for 49.
Pierre Stronghand.
it. Take my strong hand.
Interesting.
Yeah. I don't know too much about
Do you guys
that.
want to talk about how Kelvin Ridley might not be it?
I think the defenses are catching up with him, and they are giving
What do you
him
mean?
the
He's
most
so fast.
attention.
He's so fast. He's so quick.
I mean,
AJ Terrell kept a good lid on him today. I'm not going to knock that at all. I
He's
think
had
you
bad
called it
drops.
last night when we were talking about
has
this
had bad
game,
drops.
and it really did work out in his favor for AJ
think-
Terrell. But
I just think Christian Kirk's going to be the most consistent pass catcher in the offense.
He was the
Kirk
biggest
had the
buy
matchup
low.
today.
week to
He
week.
was the biggest buy low after week 1 I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, for sure. We knew that ship was going to right. They don't pay the guy $20 million not to throw to him and use him.
And
so.
Travis Etienne, where he was it running back 8
last week.
beginning of the season?
Yeah.
Where are we
I'm
with
not
him?
worried.
Just
I'm
up
not
and
worried.
down.
Where his value is,
AKA he's a running back.
A running
I
back
think
sucks,
it's
so he's
game-
still a
I
top
think
10
it's
one.
game script dependent on if he's going to hit his ceiling or have a safe 12-point floor.
And Bijan is making everything look easy.
Bijan's just next level. We could say it
He's-
like that.
He's the closest thing we're
And
gonna
Desmond
have to
Ritter's making
CMC.
everything look difficult.
I think Bijan's going to be the closest thing we're going to have to CMC.
You want to hear something funny? I'm looking at the screen and it says NFL news: Travis Henry throws 4th career touchdown pass. Like, wait a minute, Travis Henry, like the old Bills running back that had like 25
Travis
kids.
Henry.
Yeah, that's a name I haven't heard in a while. But Derrick Henry was back today.
He threw a touchdown.
He threw a touchdown pass, ran for one. My boy Josh Wiley, rookie out of Cincinnati, caught one. Not Chigaconquo. What's up with that? The Titans absolutely dog walked the Bengals. You said something. If the Bengals lose again, do they start to move? Look to
T.
move
Higgins for a second, because there's already talks he's gone. So why not get a second
You
round
got to
pick?
get something
because
for him. Yeah.
because honestly, they're going to get a 3rd round pick for him if somebody signs him for the compensation.
Yeah, comp pick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're going to get that pick for him, a 3rd. So if they can get a 2nd, ship him off. And then, like I was saying, say the spot he's in for the last 8 games isn't working out, come back to the Bengals. Hey, you got a 2nd and T. Higgins?
Yeah, this Bengals offense is it's 2 games in a row with no Joe Burrow touchdown passes. Like,
I'm
yikes.
benching him from here on out. If I have
Same.
a healthy replacement, I'm not putting him back in until I see some
Him
better
and Kyle
development.
Pitts are sitting together.
Oh yeah, they're riding the pine, smoking a cigar on the pine.
He's gonna burrow into his pit.
Ooh. But yeah, T. Higgins, he's out for, I'd say, I'd give him 2 weeks. But Jamar Chase is even not happy either. He's saying, hey, I'm always open.
Yeah, Burrow's just having a hard.
7 for
Burrow doesn't
73.
have any time, and he can't put with that calf injury. He just can't put his legs into it to throw it downfield. That's a problem.
And this is, I'm guessing anybody who's listening will hear this from all Dynasty podcasts, but this is another chance to go out and get Tajay Spears because he looks awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Still playing lots of snaps.
And to sell Derrick Henry.
Yeah. It's not happening, James. I'm not buying them from you.
You need a running back, Tyler,
Nope.
just get this
to,
one. What-
to beat me in the finals.
I'll
so
sacrifice.
today was an interesting day watching the Bears and Broncos game because you're like, oh, Justin Fields is back. The Broncos defense are they this bad? Fields has 4 passing touchdowns. He has
Looked
his
awesome.
first. He has his first ever 300-yard game. And what do the Bears do? They cough it up. Khalil Herbert has 100 yards on the ground. DJ Moore looks good. Cole Kmet with 2. Everything was coming up Bears, and then they were like, we're gonna roll over and hibernate.
Fields
and
was 12 for 12 at one point.
Yeah.
He was very accurate. He threw to his receivers where only the receiver could get him. A little high pass to DJ Moore on the outside. DJ Moore is going to get hurt. Like the way
Hospital
he's
balls.
getting set up. Yeah, he's playing hospital ball.
Yeah.
Like he is getting set up for murder.
Yeah.
Every pass
out
that
there.
goes his way, it's going to hurt. And
So
it's
as
going to happen.
as much as Fields helped keep them in the lead and almost win this game, I mean, he did have that costly fumble 6, and was kind of the deciding factor in this game as we fumbled it and they ran it back for a score. Cool to see the Broncos get a win, I guess. I don't know. I'm
You
still
could
annoyed by
feel-
Sean Payton.
You could feel it with Fields when the Broncos started scoring and they started coming back.
Fields put
Fields-
pressure on himself.
Yep. More pressure came on Fields, and he tried to do too much. And that's where he gets in trouble, is when he tries to do too much. We saw it last year with the running and today with the passing. It's like, dude, just play within yourself. You got nothing else to lose. People are already writing you off. Just play how you want to. Just who gives a damn? The same with Zach Wilson. When Zach Wilson doesn't give a damn, you see something. But they put too much pressure on themselves to like not turn the ball over, or I can't make a mistake here. And then
they make a mistake.
they
there.
make a mistake. It's like when I coach soccer and I tell the girls playing defense, I said, hey, don't make the first move because they can make the first mistake. And it always works.
Also good dating advice.
Yes.
Solid.
But yeah, it's just that simple. You could feel the mistake coming, and that's with Fields. I don't think Fields is a bad quarterback. I think this is promising. I don't think he's a great quarterback. I would say he's between Cam Newton. I'd say right before he fell off, and
I mean Cam Newton was an MVP at one point, so
not young Cam Newton. I'm saying like right before he was gonna fall off. So
okay.
I think he's a fine quarterback. He's a starting quarterback in the NFL. I'll say that. He deserves to be a starter.
I think with the right offensive scheme, he definitely is.
Trade Kyle Pitts to Chicago and get Justin Fields in Atlanta. And I mean, as long as Pitts is out and you can't waste Pitts, and then you put Fields in a running system like that, there you go. It's a win-win.
Yeah.
What did we? Kyle Pitts.
So next week is week 5. We've got the Puka Nacua thing going strong.
Yes,
Career
great.
game, which is saying a lot because he's had 4 games now and he's been amazing in 3 of them. You know, he had 160 yards, game-winning touchdown, setting all the rookie records with 39 receptions through his first 4 weeks. I think he's the real deal.
501 receiving yards.
100% real deal.
I think he's the real deal. I think what this allows the Rams to do, because they won today, even though it was a close game, is that if Cooper Kupp's hamstring isn't 100%, they don't have to bring him right back. But I think if they do bring Cooper Kupp back and he's 100%, that actually helps Puka Nacua in the role that he's in. What do you guys think about that?
Yep.
Yeah.
If there's any dip, go ahead and buy because he is. I mean, a late first or Puka right now.
Puka.
I'm a believer. I'm gonna take Puka.
Yeah. I know everybody is on the Puka train.
Offensive Rookie of the Year candidates right now: C.J. Stroud, Puka Nacua, Sam Laporta,
right now.
Bijan.
Bijan. I think it's Bijan, Stroud, and Puka.
The quarterback will win it.
Yeah, quarterback will.
Especially if they end up with a decent record, they're competitive. Yeah.
But the one thing people are saying, Puka's a 5th round pick, but I've told the
Amon
story
Ra was
before.
a 4th round pick.
Amon Ra, very high 5-star recruit coming out of USC. You got to remember those recruits.
Is his youngest brother still in college?
Well, he is the youngest. Amon Ra is the
Yeah,
middle one. The middle one, I think, is going for a doctorate in Stanford.
Osiris?
Yes.
I mean, you say a late first or Puka Nacua. I don't think anybody would give up.
Oh, I guarantee there's somebody that has Puka. They would give Puka for a first. There's plenty of people out there that think this is a fluke because Cooper Kupp's out. But what people don't realize is this guy is a very high 4-star recruit. This guy's very talented, just had injuries.
We also thought, I don't want to cut you off, but we also thought that Amon Ra, people, not me, but people thought Amon Ra St. Brown was a fluke because Hawkinson was out and this person was out. Oh, it's
Swift,
only opportunity. Yeah. And now look at Amon Ra St. Brown. He's a top, 6 or 7 dynasty wide receiver, maybe even higher, depending on where you have him. So I don't dig the whole that narrative. I don't like it. I think if the player's talented, he's gonna warrant targets and he's gonna get them.
Yep, Jamie in the chat hit it exactly. Pacheco was a 5th round rookie pick last year. We all saw the talent. He ran a 4.3. It's like if they land the right situation, they hit. Maybe they're real. We've seen some players that hit and then they fall off. Jonas Gray, I think his name was.
Oh, the 4 touchdown game for the Pats.
Yes, yeah. And players like that, but.
Like Devin Achan, the four touchdowns
yeah,
last week.
No. I mean, you're gonna add 2 more to that this week, maybe.
Yeah, but Puka is definitely the real deal. And if you followed his kind of story throughout high school, he's legit. He's a freaking baller. And there's
all right, Devin Achan or Puka Nacua. Achan, sorry.
Right now I would go Achan. Just
give me the receiver.
Long term,
Tyler.
Honestly, it's based off of I could get more for Achan if he keeps rolling.
Because running back.
You could probably get a high first for Achan right now.
Yeah. I mean, you spent a first to get him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Puka. Say you drafted him in the 4th round.
The ROI on Puka is amazing right now.
Yeah. That's what people are going to be like. They're like, oh, wow, 2 seconds for Puka and Cooper Kupp's coming back. That's what you guys should be trying to do is 2 seconds for Puka. and see if that works. And if not, and you're a contender and you got late first, that's another option. Go get Puka because he is it.
I think it's going to be Puka, Cup with a little bit of Higbee, a little bit of Atwell, and Van Jefferson is going to go away. They're going to center the passing game around Nakua and Cup.
Kyrie, another 2 touchdowns. It has to be a trade, right? You have to trade him.
I only have him in one dynasty league. I have him in a redraft league.
I have him in one league.
We're talking to a huge Notre Dame fan, and I'm sitting here thinking to myself, this is it. Like, he has 6 touchdowns. You're gone. You're getting a first for him if you can. And I think there's a chance you can.
But you don't have the same thing about Devin Achane?
Oh, but I'm talking draft capital and offense. Oh, Kyron, I think, is like Achane is a physical beast. Kyron is an average athlete. So
fair.
And Kyron could actually stick around the league and turn into like a Jarrett McKinnon type running back. So I don't know about all that.
That's true. But they did get Ronnie Rivers a little more played today.
Yeah, they did. And he looked good. I mean, the offensive line is what's really put a statement down. Yeah, no one expected it. And speaking of Rams running backs, what about the Rams running back that went to the Vikings? We talked about the Carolina side of that game, but Tyler,
he looked pretty good today.
Madison probably saved his job today.
What do you mean saved his job? He's one of the best runners of the day.
That's not saying a lot. Yardage wise.
Against a putrid
over 100
Carolina
yards
defense.
Is not saying a lot.
He didn't get 100 yards.
He didn't get 100.
He did.
No, he didn't. 17 for 95 is not 100.
God.
Last time I checked, that's not over 100. I just fact checked it.
And the average of Cam Akers, he had 1 reception for 3 yards in Madison. The average for Cam Akers was 8 yards a carry. He went 5 for 40, had 2 receptions for 11 yards. Are you nervous about Alexander Madison yet?
No.
Oh.
I'm not.
I wish I had him still so I can trade him to you. I really do.
Why would I be? Are you worried about Ty Chandler, which you said you weren't as worried about other than Madison?
I mean, the proof is in the pudding. Ty Chandler did not get any
He's a kick
today.
Returner now. That's the
proof.
Well,
maybe that's why they needed Akers.
Ty
Chandler wasn't it. Maybe they expected
Cam Akers is the backup role. Madison's still the guy.
For now.
Yeah, for now. So
okay.
We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with that. But yeah, I thought Cam Akers looked spry. You know who else looks spry today? Alvin Kamara. He looks spry.
Yeah.
How about
you know who didn't?
Derek Carr. How about
he should have said?
I was just gonna say, like, when you go 23 of 37 for 127 yards, because you have a shoulder injury, dude, put your pride away and go with the healthy Jameis Winston in a revenge game against his old team. Olave was invisible today because Carr couldn't get it downfield. You waste your best offensive player. And Alvin Kamara comes back with 13 receptions for, drum roll please, 33 yards. This is the Jerome Bettis line of receiving. Wolf is right. I mean, you get
great in PPR leagues.
Chris Olave with 1 catch for 4 yards.
Yeah, it was bad.
That is, you should be locked up. They should have put Jameis in and been like, you know what, Derek, take your mascara, go sit on the bench.
That's the issue. He put it on before the game, and he was hurting
It never
himself
comes off, Tyler. He doesn't put it on. It's never come off.
It's tattooed.
It's tattooed, yes. So it's nice to see Alvin Kamara back and contributing. There was news that he was going to get a full workload. He got 11 carries, had 51 yards, but 13 catches. Like, that's awesome.
24 touches.
You want to see that.
Think about this. Alvin Kamara had 15 points in the receiving game in PPR on 13 catches.
Well,
that is so gross.
That is one of the worst receiving lines I've ever seen. It's great for the points, but 13 for 33. Like,
Kamara had over 50% of his total completions.
I'm selling off of this performance alone. Like,
You're
if I can,
Kamara?
yeah.
I don't think I would, because
to a contending team. If I'm not contending,
of course, if you're not contending. But if you're contending, or even in the middle tier, like, he's worth more on like right now in his career, he's worth more on your roster than he is anywhere else.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that.
Just like Julio Jones' late career. Yeah, it's he's worth just rotting on your roster.
Yeah, and you know who looked good today? I thought Baker looked good. 25 of 32, 3 touchdowns. He did have a pick. He had 31 rushing yards. He did get, but he's a tough little SOB though. That Baker Mayfield, Sam Howell looking ass.
After he got his keys taken to the Brown Stadium, after he got evicted, he's pissed.
Yeah,
he's definitely bad. I think Baker
came back with lock cutters.
Baker looked pretty good. At least he got Godwin involved because I was starting to get concerned because Godwin wasn't seeing a lot of volume, but he had 11 targets. I know Mike Evans did go out in this game.
My dude got a touchdown. Trey Palmer. Woo.
And he lost him. He mossed the kid for the touchdown too.
He's good.
And he got his feet in. It was a really nice catch. It was really nice.
Trey Palmer is very good.
We saw Rachaad White lead the backfield yet again with 15 carries for 56. The volume's there, which is good. No Sean Tucker this week. It was Keyshawn Vaughn. So I think they're kind of phasing out Tucker a little bit, unless he's banged up maybe. So
somewhere Tim Keller's smiling with that 1.8 yards per carry.
Robbie Jeffries too. He spent $300 on him in bar tab. He doesn't need to be reminded.
I joined the league again. I joined the league because I was not there when that happened, and I saw that's how much he went for, and I was in awe at Robbie because Robbie's a smart dude.
Yeah, he was all in on Keyshawn Vaughn. So now he's Keyshawn gone from his roster.
Nice.
So yeah, bye Keyshawn. So what else we got?
Shaheed. What about your boy Ramondre?
Yeah, the whole offense is just. Ramondre looks slow.
I'm glad I got out.
Are we selling? Are we selling on a high note when he gets one?
Yes.
Here's the thing. I think Ramondre is talented. He can produce in the passing game. Just the thing with the offensive line of the Pats right now is not good, and I think that's part of it. I also think there was a couple of weeks ago he was dinged up or he missed time in training camp, one of the two. So I don't know if he's 100% healthy or not. There was rumors in this game they were going to give Zeke a starter's workload. For me, I think it's injury related. I think there's something going on with Ramondre because he doesn't look explosive and he doesn't have the speed. But there's also the contributing factor of that offensive line being not great, and that's contributing to some of Mac Jones's issues as well. So they need to get that line right before the offense even starts to rebound.
All right, I want to bring somebody up because I have him in a couple leagues and you guys aren't fans of him. Quentin Johnson, 3 targets today. He did have a very nice catch that was considered.
It was on a broken play.
Yep, broken play. But my question is, Herbert had an off day. It was not a good day for Herbert throwing the ball.
Yeah, Keenan was quiet today.
2 tush pushes.
And Josh Palmer, late game, had kind of a broken play type thing too on a 51. So I want to consider this a wash, but what are we thinking of Quentin Johnson with Mike Williams out? He played a lot, but I just think the passing game today was a little off.
I mean, Darius Davis had more touches than Quentin Johnson did. They're both rookies.
Yes,
Darius Davis had some running out of the backfield because Josh Kelly.
And he also had 2 receptions too. So he touched the ball 5 times. Quentin Johnson touched it.
He's definitely
once.
Quick to line. And yes, I'm starting to get a little worried about Quentin Johnson. A little.
I wouldn't worry yet. All right, because we know the talent's there. He did. He jumped off the charts.
Oh yeah,
at the combine.
I think he's talented. I think it's up here.
He's talented. Either way, I think it's him adjusting to the league. We expect all these rookie wide receivers to just come in and blow the doors off. He competed with Mike Williams. Okay, that door's open for him to step up, but I don't think the offense was planning for him to be a major part yet. We had other people. We had Josh Palmer ahead of him. There's dual tight ends, Parham and Everett, that can take that void away. I think this week in the bye, coming out of the bye, going up against Dallas is going to be a true test of what this offense can do. And if Quentin Johnston can get involved against the main contender, and they're banged up in the back in the secondary for Dallas too. So we could see a shootout kind of thing.
Kellen Moore.
Revenge game, Kellen Moore.
Yes. Kellen Moore is going to throw the ball all over the place. So Jamie in the chat, yes, you can go to YouTube. He says his QJ is a lack of talent. That is false. He has talent. And if he learns how to not body catch, now we saw preseason, he did not body catch. So those are false narratives. And I would say he's gotten better at it. And this has come from somebody who's partial on Quentin Johnson. I do like him, and I do think he's talented. But
I've never been a fan.
I mean,
don't-
if you want to say it, I mean, it's a buy low window right now. The window's open to buy.
Yes.
If you really think he has talent and you can do something with him moving forward, I mean, you may have to pay a high second compared to where you got him in the like a late first.
I mean, and to be honest with you, like I tried Quentin Johnson and Rashee Rice for Jameson Williams, and I got declined. So that price is lower than we probably think, because I think Rashee Rice is another player that is lower.
You know, I'm not a big fan of Quentin Johnson, but I would never try to acquire him for more than a second.
And
I agree with that.
And I think his profile is definitely empty right now. And Jamie, I get in the chat, you're not a Quentin Johnson fan, so you must be a Matt Kelly fan. Because Matt Kelly absolutely hates Quentin Johnson and wants to send him to the moon.
But loved Ishmael Zamora. I don't know. That guy's weird.
Weird.
He also liked Amir Smith Marset. So
That's true.
Yeah, sometimes
Hey,
it happens like that.
We all get stuff wrong.
oh yeah, big time.
Who else
We
do you
all
want to
do.
talk about? You want to talk about Commanders Eagles? I thought Sam Howell looked really good today.
About time.
You know, he
I was
bounced
getting
back from that-
nervous.
He bounced back from that terrible game, had 40 rushing yards on the ground. He looked, you know, the Commanders were in that game right until the very end.
Yeah, of course.
I
I played
thought-
against AJ Brown today.
Yeah, he looked very poised. AJ Brown definitely the squeaky wheel lately. He's been like, "Meh, throw me the ball." I mean, he's good. Like, don't get me wrong,
He's very
amazing.
good.
So I'm not surprised that he's absolutely popping off. But you know, Dallas Goedert, why is he a tight end 1 in Dynasty? Can anyone answer me this?
Have I not said this forever?
We
He
were
is
off
a
of him in the
fake
offseason.
tight end 1. Fake tight end 1. I've said
People
that
love him. I
all
don't understand.
offseason.
I don't get it.
Yeah,
He's
his
28 years
price-
old. He's old.
his
Older.
and he's never produced. He's never had this like wow.
Has he
I
ever had a
felt-
tight end 1 season?
The issue with him is he's never
That's a
been.
good
I mean, I know it's not difficult, but
He's had big time games, but he's never been consistent to where like I
Yes,
feel
he's
comfortable
had
starting him.
three tight end 1 seasons, but he was
No way, I
10,
don't
11, and 12.
oh,
Yeah,
so back
and he's,
end,
and
which
he's
is
always
easy.
rated. He's always rated about 6ish.
Yeah, I'm out. I fortunately enough for me, I don't roster any Dallas Goedert.
I think
in
it just
Dynasty.
took too long for his value to drop with the addition of AJ Brown. Everybody thought he was going to be
It's the potential
open.
that everyone saw because Zach Ertz was there before him. They thought he was
Mhm.
going to be the next Zach Ertz, who was a tight end, top 5 tight end for a long time. And he just doesn't. His game is different than Zach Ertz. He's not a good route runner. He's not as precise. He's not a safety blanket. Is he a better athlete? Sure, but he's not a better football player. That's the difference.
Yeah,
Like, you know,
I mean,
and
Jamie also in the chest. I mean, give me Dulcich over with Russ over Goddard. Like, you could get Dulcich plus for
Dirt cheap
Goddard
right now.
and he's coming off the IR this week, so not a bad call on Jamie. Even though he is a fan of the Podfather, he does say so.
no, that's fine. I mean,
Yeah.
Troutman is obviously not it. He hasn't done anything.
Troutman
So-
is, God, like I can't stand tight ends because Kyle Pitts screws me, but.
You
I'm
should've
still
been on
worried
this-
about that Knox Kincaid narrative that we're seeing because
Kincaid
Knox
is slowly
and Kincaid are
slowly
like the
coming
snap
back.
percentage is pretty even, and so
Hey,
is
if
the
we're
target share. So I don't think this is going to change anytime soon.
Hey, if we're worried about Quentin Johnson, you got to worry about Kincaid a little bit too.
I would worry about Kincaid slightly, but we know in the future, like Knox
Oh,
may not be there sooner. It doesn't matter about
Kincaid-
the contract. or not.
Kincaid is going to have a massive game, and you could feel it coming. Like he's going to have a massive play soon. This Bills
So-
offense is just rolling with James Cook. Heyo.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he had the short touchdown and had the 48-yard reception, but
He
still,
got a goal to go carry, which is what matters.
that is true. That is what matters. But you know what else matters is 8 carries for 101 and 2 touchdowns for Achane. That's, you know, I did not invest in him at all. I was
Great
like, I don't
offense.
like him. I don't like the profile. He's fast, but it is the fit, and I get it. It works. So, you know, a little egg on my face right now, anyway. So
Hey, it's okay.
We'll see what-
like it's the fit. Anywhere else, he's not succeeding like this.
San Francisco, if they didn't have McCaffrey,
That's true.
probably.
And
Yeah.
Jonathan Taylor to who are we gonna guess where he's gonna go to? Because
He's not going anywhere.
He's not
He's
going to
not-
Miami.
he is not
It-
playing for the Colts. 100% not playing for the Colts.
I think he's going to.
no.
You don't think so?
Nope. He already said he wants out still. There's no way.
Players say shit all the time. It
He's
doesn't mean it's not going to
being-
happen.
He's being a prima right now. And like there's no way. Like honestly right now, could you see
The Ravens could use him.
The Rams could
Ravens.
use him.
the Rams, the Packers? Packers were in before.
Steelers are supposedly interested.
A.J. Dillon is still trying to get off the field.
He's not
from
good.
the game.
He's not good.
On Thursday. He's still trying to walk off the field, but can't because he can't move.
Yeah, Pitts is in his way, slowing him down.
What? That makes no sense because Pitts can actually run.
He runs a lot. He just doesn't do it with a football in his hands.
Yes, exactly. But you know who did it with the football in their hands today? Michael Wilson, Arizona Cardinals receiver.
Yeah,
I
two
know.
buddies.
I know our buddy Memphis is a big fan of him. 2 touchdowns, and Hollywood Brown, one of the most underrated pickups this year and just undervalued player. He's getting so many targets. Seems like 10 targets a day is what he's going for.
Michael Wilson, 7 for 76.
Yeah,
and
two touchdowns.
Can we talk about Josh Dobbs? Because he's becoming
slightly.
He's becoming a rock solid QB2 in Superflex leagues.
Kyler ain't coming back this year.
Why would he?
He scored more than Brock Purdy.
Dobbs is doing it on the ground.
Yeah.
He's not turning the ball over a lot. They're in games. Dobbs.
Hey,
freebie pickup of the year.
Geno did it. Why can't Dobbs do it?
And he
Dobbs
did it against the Cowboys, and then he looked decent against the Niners today.
Yeah, he's looked good against 2 really good defenses. So, for me, Josh Dobbs is I've been starting Jared Goff and Deshaun Watson in a Superflex league that we're all in. And I had to start Dobbs this week because Watson was obviously out with the injury. But every week, Dobbs is outscoring Deshaun Watson.
So you're not going to start Deshaun Watson ever again?
No. Well, if I have to on bye weeks, but Josh Dobbs is getting the job done.
Hey,
he's Josh Dobbs. He's getting it done.
Josh Jobs.
Josh Dobbs. He just gets it done.
I just wish Howell put out the game that he put out today, last week.
Yeah. And you know who looks good for Arizona too is James Conner. He looks faster than he used to be. He just looks.
He looks fully
different.
Healthy.
That's what
he looks like.
He looks like the team looked at him and said, "Hey, you're our dude. You're our offense."
He's got the juice, man. He's looked good.
Yeah, and this team, like we said last week and the week before, this team is good. They're a good team. They don't have the most talented team, but
the smartest coach.
They play hard, and they're good.
Yeah,
and
they're in games.
Their coach, Pat McAfee, I think might have brought it up, but Sirianni, his first press conference was cringeworthy. People were like, "Oh God, that's so weird," and he's a Super Bowl.
It really was. I remember that.
And he's a Super Bowl coach. And now we're looking at Gannon's, and his was cringeworthy, and he's cringeworthy, but he's turned out to be a heck of a coach. This could be it. This could be it.
Yeah, Dobbs 28 of 41, 265, 2 touchdowns, no picks, only took 1 sack, and he had 12 for 48 on the ground. Low key, rushing quarterback performance out of Josh Dobbs. I didn't see this coming. I just thought he was kind of a guy who's bouncing around the league, but man, he has looked good. And like James said, against the Niners and Cowboys the last 2 weeks. So,
hey,
and speaking of the Niners, McCaffrey. My God, I know we've always said
no comparison. I know we just said Devin Achan, but
if you were in a redraft league and you picked Chase second, because a lot of people did, and you didn't take McCaffrey, you're probably like, what have I done? Because all McCaffrey does is get 100 yards from scrimmage and a touchdown every single week. There's 2 players in fantasy that are the warmest, coziest blankets. It's Justin Jefferson.
Tomlinson.
It's Justin Jefferson, and it's Christian McCaffrey.
He's LaDainian Tomlinson. When LT was in his prime, when everybody who had LT had a cheat code. Do you guys remember that when you go up against
100%. He had 100. He had 100 receptions that one year, which McCaffrey's done twice. I think.
When you'd go against them and you're sitting there like, well, this sucks.
Here's
That's how it was
points
with LT.
every week. Yeah,
that's exactly how it was with LT. And now you have it with CMC. It's like, well, this sucks. My running backs are gonna be behind.
Yeah, I mean, the passing game for the Niners is going to be continue to be annoying. We saw George Kittle 1 for 9. Deebo Samuel didn't even catch a pass. He had 3 carries for 6 yards, but he was banged up, so I'm not surprised. I started Brandon Ayuk wherever I had him because I thought this might be an Ayuk game, and it was. He looked good.
Yeah, you beat me.
I did beat you. And we were watching the game, and my buddy and I were like, hey, the Pats picked the wrong Arizona State receiver. Every time we see Ayuk, we say it. We were like,
and
God damn you, N'Keal Harry.
With the wrong Georgia running back.
I hate my team. Hey, but Sony Michel's a Super Bowl winner, okay?
My team picks the right players. They just don't use them. So what's worse?
Hey, Sony Michel is the only player to score a touchdown in a Super Bowl.
Hey, he helped you win a Super Bowl.
He did,
You know
and he
what?
helped the Rams.
My team picks players and doesn't even use them. Sorry, I'm gonna keep going.
Yeah.
We
Hey,
won't
you're
even
eighth
talk about
overall.
my
You're
team.
fourth overall. All
They
right.
don't play till tomorrow.
Hey, they're using Bijan, and that's what matters.
Yeah, that is very, very true. All right, that's all I got this week. You guys got anything else before we wrap up and get out of here?
No, let's
uh,
get out of here.
Honestly, this rookie class, it
Tyler
looks
can't
good.
turn much more red than here he is.
This rookie class looks good. The quarterbacks look fine. I think brighter days for Bryce Young. It's a good buying
Brighter
opportunity
days.
for him. I do think Bryce has dropped significant value to the point where he's obtainable.
The
And
price on Bryce.
and right now, Anthony Richardson, like you talked about, Doug, good. He'll be fine. Fantasy stud. Like I have him from fantasy. I actually traded Stroud to get Anthony Richardson, and I'm still happy about it for fantasy because that kid, like, light up on the passes. That he might have the strongest fastball.
He'll get That
It's-
happens in the NFL. They have one speed and then they got to learn how to use the touch.
The camera couldn't even follow it on a couple of them. It was nuts. I was like, okay, like he can chuck it. But yeah, and of course Stroud looks fantastic. If he can use his legs a little more for fantasy, he's going to be right up there with Richardson. But right now, he's at that Tua Burrow stage. But I think he's up there. I think right now, value wise, he's got to be up right.
I think
where
he has
Tua
the
is.
best eyes out of the rookie quarterbacks.
And the offense fits him perfect.
No turnovers so far. Well, interceptions anyway. So
And like
that
you
is
said, like
And the
can you
fumbles,
imagine-
you think those are his fault or the offensive line?
no
Offensive line.
50-50.
I mean, Tunsil's
Yeah.
not even in, and the right tackle's not even in. So
yeah, Kenyatta Green. They don't have him in their first round pick last year. They're missing a ton of linemen, and they're putting up points and looking good. So imagine, like you said, what's going to happen for that whole offense once those guys start to come back.
I also want to
Damian
give a shout out
Pierce.
to Jamie in the chat. He was following us along all show. He says, great fucking show. I'm still going to listen the morning, even though I caught it live. Hey, we want more people like Jamie in the chat. Let's get the chat rolling. Subscribe. On
I mean,
YouTube.
we're obviously more entertaining than the Chiefs and Jets game.
Hey,
now.
apparently Garrett Wilson is scoring more than 10 fantasy points tonight. I just looked.
Of
He
course,
did.
since he's on my bench. Thank you. You're welcome.
10 fantasy points out of Garrett Wilson. Like, that's gross, even saying. You
6 receptions for 43 yards. Ugh.
Yeah, good times.
Hey, that's like an amazing showing from Zach Wilson. So good job, Zach Wilson. You
Yeah.
made it.
Yeah,
You did
It's
it.
better than last week.
It's probably because Rogers is in the stands.
It's
Just
his
like
last
Taylor
chance.
Taylor Swift's up there for Kelsey. Rogers is up there for Zach Wilson.
Oh my God. That's awesome. All right. We're going to wrap it up this week for the Dynasty Happy Hour. But before we do, I want to give a shout out to Manscaped sponsoring the podcast. As usual, James repping the Manscaped shirt that he got with his kit. He's like, oh, I am rocking that shirt. Make sure you use
So
code
comfortable.
DHH.
It's such a nice
It
material.
is. You'll save 20% on your order. You're going to get the lawnmower, I think 4.5 or whatever the hell it is now.
4.0.
Is it still the
The
4.0?
10.6.
Yes.
Yes.
Trims
It's-
everything. One
with
touch.
headlights.
Yeah, it's got the headlights. It's got a little
exhaust
horn on
pipe.
there, so you can beep it yourself. Boop, boop. It's amazing.
When you get too close to the gooch.
Yeah. No, it's my gooch that has the horn. It's weird. Yeah, it's an awesome product. I use it all the time. I trim my beard with it quite often, which is and then I use it on
You
the
got
the
separate
other
ones,
areas.
right?
I just clean
Yeah.
it. It's waterproof, dude. I just run
Do
it
you
under
go-
the water.
Do you,
That's
do
true.
you
I
do-
love using
do
it
you
in the
do
shower.
balls then chin?
Yes,
That's where the cold sores come
because
from, people.
I like to live dangerously.
That's
so
where
that's
the
how
cold
I do.
sores come from.
Don't make fun of my cold sores. Yeah, it's an
Oh
awesome
my
product. The nose and ear trimmer for you olds like me. It's awesome. Different adjustable lengths. So if you want to trim it close, you want to leave a little bit of stuff on there. It's awesome. Your balls are going to love it just as much as I do. Use code DHH to get the Manscaped kit today. Also, go on Verdian Global. Check out all the Dynasty Happy Hour gear. And also check out our friends at Dynasty Nerds. You code DHH, you'll save 15% off. They've got extra episodes, film rooms, prospect stuff. Awesome stuff with Rich and the team. We love those guys. Even though Rich still owes us a live appearance. Maybe next year. We'll see. I'm not bitter. It's fine. So make sure you check out Dynasty Nerds as well. And that'll wrap us up for Dynasty Happy Hour this week. For James, for Tyler, I'm your host, Doug. We'll see you in week 5.